Peace family, Anthony Fowler, and I'm here today on behalf of the Chief family. I'm the host, and I would like to take the time with some brothers and sisters that I have. Sister Keelan, and she's going to give us a presentation for the second annual commemoration of Black August, and also giving us informal information on George Jackson and a couple of other issues and topics that's going on within the Black community. Thank you, and let me get to it. This is our Chief family. The Chief family is here. We're here to present to y'all the second annual commemoration of Black August. And I'm not going to delay the time. I would like to start everything off with libations. And I'd like to bring in Sister Ruth to start the libations.
Please, ma'am. When we call the ancestors' names, anybody who would like to call the ancestors, feel free. I'm going to start off with the Yoruba prayer. Mother, Father, Creator, Oludumare, Ashe. Mojuba, Bobo, Iku Kembaye Base, Mojuba, Oludumare, Iba Koni, Mojuba, all of the ancestors who surround us today. Mojuba, all of the ancestors who never made it through the middle passage. Mojuba, Blanche Ashton. Mojuba to the Honorable Marcus Garvey, whose birthday we also celebrate today. Mojuba. Mojuba, Isaac Ashton. Mojuba, Molly Gray. Mojuba, 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 we ask that the Orisha Elegba open the door for this event we are having this evening. We ask for the spirit of resistance to rise in our communities to stop this massacre against our people. Ashe.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing us, facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Next we have Brother IB. He's going to come and give honor and praise to Marcus Scott.
Peace, family. You know, a little confusion about what I was going to say when I got up there. I didn't know it was going to be lovely, but I had written something that I wanted to, share with you. Share with all y'all.
Share it, brother.
Okay. I wrote a little something, and I just kidding. The power in you can bring you heaven on earth. The earth is our turf. When you true, you gotta know first. When my physical goal put me in a black curse, the earth is my nurse, providing nourishment for my birth. Know itself, and that will break the curse. God is in you, the devil teach you in reverse. Knowledge will quench the thirst of the universe. Apply pressure to a white head and watch it burst. That's the key to unlock your mind. You seek, you find. True history will open your blinds to see the sunshine. That's information. You feel that? True indeed. It is relation. You never lose it if you give your dedication. Not to mention procrastination kills the nation. So there is no hesitation. And truth I master equally in patience. You'll see the truth from the matrix. When we all stand, that's when we all make it. They try to make it hard, but it's basic. How you gonna have time if you never take it? I look to self for the proper education. Peace.
I like that. Y'all felt that? That's coming on track soon?
Yeah, I got it. Put that on something, man.
Yeah.
We'll put it down. We'll jot it. We got it now.
That's what's up. Okay. Next is Sister Olinka. She's coming to give a poem.
Peace, how everybody doing? All the way from Texas to be here. I'm glad to be here. The sister collector asked me to come. Man, we've been on the road. We've been to Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Washington, Baltimore, and now we're here. But each step that we've been to, each city we've been to has always been a black reflection. When we got to Memphis, we saw the pyramid. When we got to Alabama, we thought about Medgar Evers and Emmett Till. And then when we got to Atlanta, the 16th Street bomb. And then when we got to Washington, D.C., we thought about Benjamin Banneker. And then when we get to Baltimore, we thought about Frederick Douglass. And then when we get to VA, we think about Nat Turner. So it's just been a real black, real Wesley Snipes back in the day. And it's been beautiful because I've been getting to see all these places that I only read about in books. But all humor to the side, this is a real serious and sacred month for all Africans here in America. All Africans here in America. And this month is so real. I'm not even going to do a poem. This month is so real that anybody who's in contact or who has any conscience, your third eye has been open. Your third eye has been open to that. It's war. It's war. We cannot get past it. We cannot say, oh, this is just a game. All the way from Texas to where they shoot a brother, where the police officer can shoot a mentally ill man in his front door in front of his mama and walk off and go eat lunch. All the way from the death of Trayvon Martin, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. This is war. And we as Africans in America, we must understand that we cannot play with Black August. We cannot play with any month. We are at war. Our skin makes us at war. Our babies are being born automatically as cannon fodder. It's sad when your son has to ask mommy, can I walk to the store? It's sad when your son go out the door, you don't know if he's going to come back the same way. We are at war. Police brutality is for real. And if Black August has ever been any more serious than it is right now, because the dragon has been unleashed. When we talk about the dragon, we talk about General George Jackson, who was organizing all over the prisons. We must understand that Black August is sacred. It has been sacred to us as St. Patrick's Day is to the Irish, as Hanukkah is to the Jews. We saw that, and we saw how sacred, how serious our liberation is that our young people are in the streets throwing rocks and tanks just like the Palestinians are doing over in Israel. General George Jackson said, use every weapon that you got. If it's a bicycle, wheelbarrow, fork, spoon, whatever, to fight the enemy, guerrilla warfare. But we saw in Ferguson was guerrilla warfare. When the youth did not care about going to the streets and saying, I am ready to die because you've taken everything away from me to live for. When they can shoot our youth and leave them in the streets for 5 hours to bleed like a hog, we are at war. We are at war. And we must understand that. We wouldn't be on this road trip if it was not war. We would not be having this sacred session if it is not war. When you turn on your television, it is war. America now looks like Palestine and Israel. And we must understand that President Barack Obama, he's not for us. Because he'd rather get on TV and talk about Robin Williams killing himself than a young man who wanted to live for himself. We must understand that we are at war. And our brothers and our sisters who are passed on to the realm, we give them libations. But none of us in this room wants to be a person to have libations done to us right now. Our seeds are very, very important. The things that we do, the lessons that we learn, how we touch each other and how we talk to each other. I'm all the way from Texas. Well, they held us in captivity for 2 extra years. For 2 extra years. But we still are enslaved. We just passed plantations here. We ain't got no real live plantations in Texas. But the plantation mentality still exists there. We got a governor. We got a governor who's talking about going down to the borders and meeting little children who are coming from Mexico and El Salvador with guns in their faces. But he don't realize that Mexico was Texas. We are at war. We are at war with our young women when they rather drop it like it's hot and twerk it than pick up a book. Watch out for the hook. We are at war with, we cannot tell our young men from our young women. And the reason I found out that a lot of these young men rather be homosexual because they say, I'm afraid to be a black man. Because if I become a black woman, I got more of an opportunity to stay alive. So we must understand about the feminization of our black men, and it's because we are at war. We got more of us locked up than any other place in the world. You get rid of the warrior class, what do you have left? You have nothing. You lock up the men, you got nothing but the women. The population. So we are not only at war, we are at genocide. So we must understand that these things are very, 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 very real, and what y'all are doing is a very, very important thing, even if it's just because the real warriors is going to be these in the room. Everybody else is up the street talking to Jesus, which is a good thing. But Jesus needs to come down here and stop these rubber bullets. Because the Jesus I believe in, he ain't no white boy with no blonde hair and no blue eyes. My Jesus is a nigga. And he about that business. He said, you mess with mine, I'm cutting your head off. That's the one I'm waiting for to come back. That's the one I'm waiting for to come back. So we must understand that we are at war in our thought process. When we're doing things like this, we are outside the realm of what they want us to do. We're not supposed to be teaching our babies. We're not supposed to be commemorating our ancestors. We're not supposed to be having these conversations about how do we get together and stay alive. It is an honor and a pleasure being a black-owned business. It is. Because where I come from, the majority of all hair care products is owned by Asians. Can I help you? You know why you got to start. But to come into a place like this where the barbershop has history, where brothers could be free in the barbershop, where political connections were made in the barbershop. But we must understand, people, if you never see me again, we are at war and we still got a road to go down to. We still got to go and do more work. And it's sad, like I said, when a boy has to lay in the streets for 5 hours bleeding from his head. When a black man says, the last words he says is, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. When a baby puts his hands up and says, don't shoot, and you still shoot. When a homeless man running for his life, and they shoot. Trayvon Martin was just going home, shooting. Tobias Mackey shot 11 times in Dallas, Texas. Because he was trying to hold up his pants. You shoot him. We are war people. And we must understand that. It's not a game. It ain't no NBA playoff. This is for real. And we must arm ourselves. Because if you don't arm yourself, mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially, you just might as well get ready to lay down and die. And I say to all our young ladies, understand the sacredness of where you're at. Because let's not be talking about Brothers Georgia. We have a Sada Shakur. We have a Sada Shakur who's in Cuba, a serious freedom fighter. Study Black August, study your history, study those that came before you so you could be free. Take your time and honor your ancestors. Get that knowledge because that's one thing they can't take away from you. Frederick Douglass said, you render a man to read, you forever make him unfit for slave. So what I say to y'all, I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be on this journey. Y'all gonna get some real serious knowledge. But understand, don't get caught up in the hook. Don't let the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Beyonce's new whatever movie, whatever that crap is. Understand, stay focused. Because once they take your eye off of this, they got you on this over here. You are the warrior class. You are the ones that are learning. You're the ones that are willing to come out and say, you know what? I want to know. And that makes you different. That makes you special. But that also makes you a target. I've been a New Black Panther Party since 1991. And I can tell you what it's like. I can tell you what it's like to have your phone tapped. I can tell you what it's like to have your house vamped on in the middle of the night. But I joined when I was 17. And I never looked back. So we must understand that we are at war. And it's real out here. Protect your essence, protect your seed, but most of all, get that knowledge. Make Black August as sacred to you as it is to Hanukkah, as to the Jews, as sacred it is to them Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Get that knowledge. Honor your ancestors. Learn, go forth, and do them homage. And understand that this is real out here. Minister Farrakhan said there was going to be tanks in the streets. He said that. He said that the blood was going to flow like red wine. And like I said, we got a president that's more concerned about what goes on over in Israel than he's concerned about what goes on over in Chicago. And that's the help you get him there. So that you know he ain't concerned about nothing. And so we as Africans, what we have to do, we have to do what Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, what? Do for self. Because ain't nobody coming down here to save us. Don't be expecting for nobody, ain't no Messiah, ain't none of that. All of our so-called leaders have been killed. You your own damn man. Arm yourself or harm yourself. All power to the people.
Next we have Brother Supreme.
I would like to start this by thanking the creator of we, the one, the all, for bringing us together this day. I would like to acknowledge the ancestors who are with us every day, guiding, protecting, and watching over us. I would like to acknowledge the elders who have paved the way and blazed trails for us to be able to do what we're doing this day. And any elders who are present this day. I'm 45. Anybody older? With your permission, I would like to continue.
I should.
My name is Supreme Knowledge God of Law. My chief family name is Kim Ra Chi, meaning Black Sun God. I would first like to start this union and gathering of like minds, hearts, and souls with universal words of peace. Amani, Jambo, Islam, Protect, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Ahuru, culminating to Black Power, meaning it doesn't matter what background, what religion, what culture or ideology you adhere to. We all have a common bond, which is we are Africans at home and abroad. So we should connect on that common ground. I would like to give a strong Black unified hand to Brother Ant and Sister Ruth for planning and organizing this key I would like to give them love and respect for having self to do this introduction to this cipher manifesting on this month and day of August 17th. August is the 8th month, and 8 represents building and destroying mathematically. Building with the positive and destroying the negativity in one's life. This day, the 17th, is represented by a 1 and a 7. 1 mathematically is a representation of knowledge, which is the foundation of all things in existence, or this physical universe. And 7 mathematically represents God. So we see in order to build, we must first knowledge God. And when we add 8 plus 1 plus 7, we get 16, which is to knowledge equality, meaning we must deal equal with our people. 1 plus 6 equals 7, or born God. So on this day, this is God's will. I would also like to give thanks to my twin flame, my moon and earth, my wisdom, my friend, Queen Falami Sekhmet Chi. You all might know about Team Barber for strength, support, loyalty, guidance, and love. And to my seekers, give thanks and praise to Brother Cole for the support and use of his shop. First, some insight and outsight on our family, the Chi family. Chi, as in Chinese medicine, is the term for universal energy, or the energy that permeates everything around us. This feng shui term applies to the energy inside your body, as well as the energy inside and outside of buildings. In the Igbo culture and people of Nigeria, Chi means God. And as Sister Ruth brought to light, a lot of slaves here in the northern neck of Virginia came from Nigeria. So on that note, we also have a common ground to link on here in this area also. The family is the basic foundational building block to any nation. It is a social unit consisting of 1 or more adults together with the children they care for. The key word in this manifestation being social, which is the people meeting and communicating with each other to share or exchange information and ideas. The bond that links your true family is not one of blood. That makes you related. But one of love, respect, admiration, trust, and unity. That's what makes a true family. So when we become adult men and women, we create our own family, regardless of how we was raised or whatever the case may be. Like the sister said, we at war. So that's our bond. We're each other's bond. A alike, B alike, plus we C alike. And a family in harmony will prosper in everything they do. Unity is the strength of a family like the strength of an army is, in its loyalty to each other. So let us, our family, show the world how we can come together and cooperate to accomplish something small, which is the first step to accomplishing something big. Peace.
Real nice. Real nice. Now we have Brother Eric. He's going to come up and speak on George Jackson and the Black Hawk.
Free land. All power to the people, long live the gorilla.
That's right.
Right on, I'm Brother Eric Coffrott of Dallas, Texas, co-founding chairman of the Gorilla Mainframe Revolutionary Organization. It basically seems to a lot of organizations that just believes basically that we believe that there should be liberated zones and liberated territories wherever African people are, to rid themselves of oppression and exploitation. So we're talking about Black August here, and that's why we're here. How many of us glad to celebrate Black August? Right on, right on. Black August is deep. It got a lot of history tied into it. I'm going to go over a little bit of that, a little bit of George, a little bit of some Attica Rebellion, kind of mix it and tie it all in. You know, you can go forever with facts. You know, a lot of things happen in Black August. But basically, Black August was inspired actually in the prison industrial complex called Prison Camp of America. And what they were inspired by were some of the acts of rebellion in the prison. One of the first moves being George Jackson's little brother named Jonathan Jackson, which was a 17-year-old honor student. You know what I'm saying? Was very smart and intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Had a bright attitude, a very positive attitude. But being that George Jackson was his brother, you know, he came into, you know, knowledge and, you know, and inspiration of resistance. You know, he had an ideological foundation from his brother. So even though he was, you know, even though he had all this prestige in his high school years, he still understood that oppression, exploitation, and the whole people at their will who are innocent is wrong. So he understood that, and just like you and I, you know, we don't like to see our cousin, you know, we don't like to see little Ray them locked up. Little Pookie locked up. We don't like to see our cubs locked up. Uncle Bo, you know, been in prison since we was 3 years old. We don't like to see that. You know what I'm saying? We don't, whatever the case may be, whatever they may have done, or whatever the charges is, we don't want to see that. You know, we would like to see them free. And so Jonathan Jackson, over time, you know, had an urge in his spirit to really want to see his brother free. So on August 7th, 1970, he went to on the resistance move to free the Soledad brothers, which George was not one of the ones included in his demands. You know, it was James McLean, William Christmas, and Ruchell McGee, which Ruchell McGee is the only one living from this rebellion of this actual day. So what they did, they went to the Marin County Courthouse, you know what I'm saying, armed from some, you know, other sisters, other comrades, and they demanded that the Soledad brothers be free. You know, they came in the courtroom, tied a shotgun to the judge's neck, you know, took some other hostages, and they said, we are the revolutionaries. They proclaimed what they were. They let them know, like, we ain't just no fools coming in there just to do nothing. We are the revolutionaries. We want our comrades free, because they are, you know, innocent. You know what I'm saying? They are righteous brothers, and we want them innocent. So, you know, so they got the, you know, the judge and the other hostages in the van, and right as they're about to take off, you know, they had snipers that came in, they had to back up, and they shot into the van, and Jonathan was one of the first ones shot. Of course, the judge with the shotgun taped to his neck, of course, he was shot also, and everybody was shot, like I said, except for Comrade Ruchell McGee, who is still the lone survivor of that actual incident. But, you know, that's called the Marin County Courthouse Rebellion. Of course, Jonathan transition was murdered, assassinated on that day, and we would have loved to see him live out his days, you know, as being as brilliant as he was. But he made that ultimate sacrifice to just go ahead and say, yeah, the hell with it. You know, we want the Soledad brothers free. I want my comrades free. So that's one thing that inspired some of the events of Black August. Then you have a year later, 1971, August 21st, in which that's the day George Jackson was assassinated, and also a prison rebellion, where you had numerous prison guards was murdered. You know, on that day, you know what I'm saying. George had a you know, weaponry in his what they say, a wig. He had a wig. You know, but he had his weaponry in there, and the clip fell out, and they saw the clip, so he just automatically pulled out and said, you know, we taking over. So they letting people out the cells. They had other comrades, Johnny Spain, people like Johnny Spain, who was actually running out the prison cell with George when he was assassinated. He just went another way, and George went another way. So, of course, Johnny Spain survived, and George did not. But this event, you know, is what led to comrades like Atari Jeffrey Gaulden, who died August 1st, 1978. You know, it's inspired them not really celebrate, because it really wasn't known as a celebration at that time. You know, it was known more as inspiration of unity and sacrifice and self-discipline and resistance is what it was. So, you know, during that time, you know, the mess halls was quiet. You know, nobody's grabbing utensils, nobody said a word. One brother recalled, he came in there, he said he didn't know what happened, nobody said anything. You know what I'm saying, everybody was quiet, but out of that came, you know, Black August, you know, with the brothers dedicated to spreading around the prison industrial companies or the prison camps of America, the encouragement of discipline, unity, and sacrifice. You know, so one of the things done during Black August is, of course, is study. You know what I'm saying, leaving the TV, you know, alone for a while, or, you know, with them leaving it totally alone, tell our business, they say. You know, of course, study, building our minds up, you know what I'm saying, not tuning into all the chaos and confusion that goes on out here, you know. And of course, one of the things is also fasting. They would fast from 6 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning all the way to 8 p.m. Some of us are fasting during this month as we speak. So that was one of the things, you know what I'm saying. And then later on, once it got out after Qatari Garden, Conrad Garden was, you know, as the transition, it came out into the streets of America. You know, it came past the prison cell. It became inspiration. You know, people started, you know, trying to encourage people not to shop, you know what I'm saying, doing back outlets at some of these big corporate spots, you know, the Walmarts and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, with, you know, we would call that, you know, Walmart and things like that, to support brothers and sisters in the community that had, you know, the same materials that you needed that you could go get easily, you know what I'm saying, without going to these big corporations. You know, so once it came out here, you know, that was some of the things, and it's really actually, it's like an outline, it's like a curriculum, like you must do this, like, you know what I'm saying, when the originals founded it, this was, you know, you fast, you study, you train, you know, martial arts, working out, you know, get on the workout regimen, you know, male, female, children alike. You know, you study, you tune out the confusion and chaos of corporate America, you know, and you get down to business, you know. So, you know, of course, all of the historical events since it's been out of prison, you know, we've added some things, like a lot of the things, you know, Nat Turner Rebellion, which was, you know, we don't know exactly how true this is, you know, doing with the, you know, records and things of that nature, but it supposedly started August 21st as well, Nat Turner Rebellion, you know, of course, that's the day George was assassinated, so that would be our running thing if that was the case. So, you know, we also, like I said, we also added, you know, talking about and discussing a lot of history, a lot of slave rebellions, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people were murdered during the month of August, things like that. So, you know, it's been a great encouragement of people to really get into their history, not just to be, you know, not just to be knowing the history, but to, you know, but to understand it, thoroughly analyze it, and see where yourself, you know, is in your time in history. You know what I'm saying? Because James Foreman once said, to be a revolutionary is to know what time you need and know what to do in that time. You know what I'm saying? Know if it's a time of peace or know if it's a time to rebel. So, you know, that's just a little, short summary of what inspired Black August. In fact, you still got some comrades of Qatari, Nolan, and Dobiel Nolan, which we're going to discuss in a minute, and those kind of people out here. There was some comrades in Baltimore, you know, people like Shujai Graham, you know, OGs like that, you know, they're still out here today. They actually soldiered with these brothers and took orders and took encouragement and inspiration from these brothers. They're still out here today. They can, you know what I'm saying, help build us up and give us knowledge of what went down and how it was, not only for that, but how they still fighting as elders. You know what I'm saying? Not, of course, not like on the front line like we are, which one of the brothers I mentioned, he wouldn't let me say that he was here, but you know, let him tell it. He's only just as much on the front line as a 16-year-old, but you know, a lot of elders not as on the front line as some of us are. So George Jackson, we talking about this man George Jackson. Who is this guy on all these shirts? You know, who is this one guy that inspired all these people? Well, you know, Elder Graham last night said something. He said, you know, it was many George Jacksons in the revolutionary struggle at that time, and it was many George Jackson in prison. He said his name just wasn't George Jackson. You know, there was plenty of George Jackson, but their name wasn't George Lester Jackson. But George Lester Jackson is just like a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? He was born in Chicago, grew up, you know, got into a lot of trouble, you know, like a lot of youth, they want to get into some stuff. You know, his parents, you know, his mom being the main one, you know, wanted to shelter him a lot. You know, he went to a school, a segregated school. For it was a school black and white, but you know, whites had more privilege than blacks. In fact, one of the schools he went to, you know, the blacks couldn't go out on the playground, only whites could. Okay, yes sir. Only whites could go out on the playground. So you know, with all that, you know, living through all that, you know, George rebelled like a lot of youth, started getting into trouble doing petty criminal activity. And of course, his folks moved him out to Los Angeles, California, and there he continued on his petty criminal act, you know, rebelling against the system in a youthful way. You know, in 1958, you know, he was starting some criminal activity, went to a youth detention center. He escaped that and went back to Chicago. And in 1960, he was charged for a gas station robbery, which he did plead guilty to that. You know what I'm saying? Not having knowledge of the law and the system. You know, but George Constance didn't come till later on. You know, he had several, up to 40 charges within the prison, you know, before he got to the Constance. Later on, he started studying revolutionary texts, Kwame Nkrumah, Mao Zedong, Ho Chi Minh, you know, Marx, Lenin's, things of that nature. Because a lot of, you know, stuff that our scholars teach now that we into, that wasn't out then. So this is where he had to get his inspiration from. So he got that. And, you know, started on his revolutionary journey and resist, you know what I'm saying, building with the brothers and uniting the brothers in the prison. So, you know, they start uniting, they start standing strong for a unified force rather than, you know, doing these separate petty criminal activities. They decided, you know, to resist against slavery and oppression. You know, one thing that Nat Turner and George Jackson did have in common. They both knew that slavery was wrong, right? When we say slavery, we're not talking about nothing that happened in 1842, right? We're talking about something that's right now in 2014, right? It just came from a cotton field to a corporation, from a corporation to a prison camp, right? So, you know, it's not nothing abstract slavery is now. So they both understood slavery in that time was wrong. So they resisted. You know, you had comrades like W.L. Nolan, who was, you know, he had a boxing game. You know, he was a prison boxer. You know, if he was out of prison, he'd probably been champ somewhere in some weight class. But he was, you know what I'm saying, a revolutionary soldier and committee, dedicated. And so, you know, one day they was out on the prison yard, you know, about to fight with, white supremacist groups. And the white supremacist groups, you know, they met them and they started fighting in the prison yard. Shot, of course, they aimed at the black soldiers and killed 3 of them. They shot one of the white boys, and that was off a ricochet of a bullet. You know, and that really sparked something. Once they killed W.L. Nolan, people really started coming together. They started to get more comrades in the prison to resist what had been going on. So that really sparked something like, in fact, Officer John Mills was killed later on in resort to that, because they tried to say that George Jackson had committed that murder against Officer John Mills, because they don't know who did it, right? It was guerrilla, that's why I'm saying long live the guerrilla. It was guerrilla style, you know, when they killed Officer John Mills in retaliation of what happened to their brother. You know, poor George kept building. You know, he wrote some of his work, Soledad Brother, you know, Prison Letters. That's a good book if anybody doesn't have it. I recommend it again. And also Blood in My Eye, which I like to call one of the most underrated revolutionary texts I've ever read. Great piece, you know what I'm saying? George Jackson was very intelligent, sharp. You know, they try to paint a picture like he was just a thug or some tough gangster, you know, they claim revolution, but George had love in his heart. When you read George Jackson's literature, you can feel the spirit of George when you read what he's saying, you know what I'm saying? But he breaks down the balance of history, economics, you know what I'm saying, revolutionary activity, you know what I'm saying? Blood in My Eye is a great revolutionary text. I recommend that anybody get into that and build with it amongst comrades. So that's one, you know, couple of things that he left us along with his fight. And like I say, the prison rebellion, San Quentin, August 21st, 1971, in an escape attempt. He was murdered, assassinated by a sniper rifle from the tower. You know, the bullet went through his back. Assassinated. we say assassinated because it wasn't no accident, right? They was out to get him anyway. You know, they had several attempts on his life during, you know, the time he was in prison. They tried to pay, prisoners, you know, they tried to inspire white prisoners to kill him once he got out of his cell, but they couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? He had other comrades watching him. One white boy claimed he didn't want to do it because he had so much respect for George Jackson. So this was this was something that they wanted, to kill this man, to kill his spirit. It ain't just this man, right? It was a lot of us like that, right? But George Jackson was he brought a certain culture and a certain attitude to, you know, solidarity and San Quentin prison and to people out here. He also was the field marshal of the Black Panther Party in prison. He was a field marshal, you know, the original Black Panther Party as well. So, you know, but George was a dedicated man soldier, and, you know, his spirit lives on through many of us. You know, he set an example of presidents for real revolutionaries, male and female alike out here, and we're going to keep his legacy alive. And also, I don't know if people are familiar with the Attica Rebellion. Attica Rebellion started 1971, the Attica Rebellion. That was also in retaliation for George Jackson's murder. Just like George then retaliated for W.L. Nolan's murder by the prison guards, they retaliated in Attica off that, you know, which in Attica, you had people who had a certain level of consciousness in Attica already. You had students for Democratic Society, SDS, you had Nation of Islam members in prison, you had Panthers. So you had all these people who already had a certain mindset, who was already fed up with what was going on in prison, not just George's murder, but you talking about, you know, we talk about the transition of slavery. The Attica, you know, prisoners, some of them were getting as less as 50 cents a day, right? And then, you know, some of their jobs, you know, you had a certain job in the Attica prison, you would call the warden's boy. You wouldn't call your name, you wouldn't call sir, you wouldn't call good working employee, manager, none of that. You would call the warden's boy. You could be 6'8", 290 pounds, you would call the warden's boy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and even some of the other conditions, you know, like not being able to shower for once every 2 weeks, right? How would we feel? Some level feel. We just had to shower just once every 2 weeks. We probably feel as, you know, filthy as a pig. And we had to go through that, but that's what they had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Information being blocked, materials being blocked from other comrades that's out. So they were looking at all this George murder, then they started looking at all it like, damn, you know, our comrades get killed all across the country, and we got to deal with this, $56 a day, materials being, you know what I'm saying, prison, you know, no Spanish and, you know what I'm saying, no prison guards is a black, you know, so-called Latino, black or brown guards, you know, all white guards, you don't give a damn about us. We got to go through all this, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they started rebellion, you know what I'm saying, and they took hostages, which they didn't do anything to the hostages, they didn't violate them in any way. You know, this is on record, you know, the actual hostages at that time saying that the Attica resistance, you know, didn't harm them or do anything, is what the guards did, is what the state did. You know, as ordered by Commissioner Oswald around the 5th day of the rebellion. You know, of course, the only support they had in that rebellion was the people from the outside like you and I. You know what I'm saying? That's the people they called in, and they wanted to call, they had a demand to call in the people from the community to negotiate, you know, for them, on behalf of them, because they know those are the people that understand what they're going through, their family, members of the community organization.
So that, the Attica movie, he was killed. They made a movie about the outbreak that happened in the Attica prison.
Right.
So George Jackson's connected to that?
Yeah, yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. Very much connected.
You seen that movie before?
Yeah, it's been a while. I know a movie you told me. Is Morgan Freeman in that?
No, I think it's Prince Father that played in Purple Rain.
He's in there. He is in there too. Yeah, Clarence. Yeah, he's in Clarence Williams. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. But I remember that movie. Yeah, but they also had a documentary out that highlights all of this. You know what I'm saying? By the 5th day, the state came in, tear gas. You know what I'm saying? They tortured a lot of the brothers and sisters who were part of resistance. And even those who did resist, you know, it was 1,200 of them, but the ones that didn't, you know, they tortured them just as they do today. So, My time is up, but I just wanted to share that a little bit to show how it transitions and to inspire us to, stay analyzing history and analyze our position in the world. We all power to the people.
And brother,
Okay.
it's a book that you can get. I got this from Pan-African Connection. It's called it's called A Time to Die, and it's the Attica Prison Revolt, and it gives a full history of what happened in Attica, and it also gives you the it talks about when General George died, how they all went into the lunchroom and it was just quiet, and people put on black, if it wasn't nothing like a shoestring, black around, you just dead quiet. But and I passed the book around, but it's actually got pictures of when they was in the courtyard and when the laws came in and stripped them and they shot them, and it shows the bodies and everything laying in the courtyard. And I'll bring it over there till you can see it. But it's a very, very good book, and it's called A Time to Die. And you can buy it. But I got this one from Pan-African Connection, and it breaks down everything for you just by Tom Wood. Okay, yeah, check it out.
I want to introduce my sister Tina Lego Baruti. We met on Facebook through a mutual friend, and we were, how you do on Facebook, have a little debate sometimes. So, the mutual friend made a status about being African. And at the time, I was not, I'm looking at myself like an African American. I know I have African descent, but I'm American. I was born in America. Most of our families are mixed with other races, mainly through the rape of our ancestors. So I couldn't understand what they were talking about. There were so many of them. You'd be on Facebook when like 20 people coming like, "You African? What you talking about?" And I'm just like, yeah, I understand. That's where my people from. But we over here in the vessel, I really wasn't associating myself with the continent. As being like an African here in America. So out of the other like 50 people that was on the status, going in, my sister Keela, somehow, I don't know if she inboxed me or inboxed her. I tried to go through it and find it today, but it only went back about a year and a half. And it was like out of all the people screaming, it sounded like they could be screaming. People all caps and exclamation marks and stuff. So it's like she was like, in my inbox, she whispered something to me. That's how it felt in my spirit. So what she dropped on me made me look at everything totally different. And I was like, wow, I understand what this sister's saying. She is like, I could feel her sweet spirit from thousands of miles away. So we connected, and we connect on a spiritual level. I asked her, she's like my mentor. I go to her, and I can ask her anything on a spiritual level, political level, any level. And I'm grateful that this is the first time me actually getting a chance to meet her face to face. So happy to see her, and I hope this is just the first of many times that we will build, in person. And I'm just grateful to have her here. And me and Sister LaToya want to do, they're going to play some music, and we want you to come up, and we just want to give you some positive energy. So we just going to do a little dance around you. And I want anybody that's wanting to join in, however you want to join in, you want to clap, shake the thing, whatever y'all want to do. We family, so we don't all have to sit here like, so quiet. We family. So we building together, let's interact together, and we want to give this sister some energy before she give us the presentation.
Senegalese friend says, violence. What is it?
My arms are tired. Have it down.
Am I required to stand or can I? No, sit in the circle with us if you like. I would like to. And I don't need to. Is that okay? Sure.
Turn it off.
I really thank y'all for, sharing your time with me and my family from Texas. It means a lot. It means a whole lot to us. And my hopes is that today you will understand why it means so much. I want to ask if somebody can take notes for today. I'm here because I need your assistance. We have a lot of work to do as mentioned. And the work that we have to do, it requires a lifetime. It's a lifetime of work. It's not something that's temporary. But we love ourselves and we have a accountability to one another. So this work that I want to introduce you to is something that will be sustained for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. So it's very, very important. And if there's anything that I mentioned that you may not understand, please ask me in the midst of it. And I want to be able to answer those things. But before we get started, I want to get to know everybody. In African society, we have names, right? And the names that we have are normally given to us by our loved ones. That's anybody, right? Everybody gets their name from their mom and daddy, somebody named them. But a lot of us who understand certain things, we do choose names for ourselves because we know that our names are they're a guide to our destiny. And so I know that I've heard different names in the room. However, sometimes you hear it, but it just don't register. So I want to be able to learn your names because my being here is not temporary. It's something, again, that I want to last a lifetime. So I want to know you, and I want to use every tool and aspect to get to know you. So what I want to do is I want to individually go around and get everyone's name. And if your name has a meaning to it, let me know what it is, and then everybody yell black autumn salute after each person introduced. So I will start with you. My name is Kalaika Anayajali Kwabaruti. My name means angel who cares for the teacher. What's your name? Timothy. Black autumn salute to you, Timothy. Black August
Salute.
Hi, my name is Kalika Amiajali Kwabaruti. What's your name? Tanaya. Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
My name is Keela. You can call me Angel. What's your name? Takivia. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here today. Black August Salute. Hi, my name is Angel. What's your name? Tamaji. Nice to meet you. That's a pretty name. Black August Salute. My name is Kalika Amiajali Kwabaruti. Say that again? Black August Salute. And if somebody can, yeah.
Well, I like him. You know, they probably stole it for a long time, but he really gave it to me. That's what I was Self-king, I didn't like a lot of all day they go hands, official man.
And if we could have a sign in this too, with everybody's name, that way I will have it. Would that okay?
Pass around the tablet, everybody saw it.
Thank you. My name is Keela.
My name is Sharonda, also known as Brew, also known as Adabiki Chi. Adabiki stands for First Born Your Daughter, Fair Perfection.
Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
Hi, my name is Angel. Drees. Nice to meet you. Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
That's George Jackson. Hi, my name is Mike.
Black August salute.
Hi, my name is Keela. Nice to meet you.
My name is Supreme Knowledge, God of Law. Supreme meaning highly developed into oneself. Knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence, only showing the truth that we, man and woman, the original man and woman, are the foundation of all things in existence. We manifest as God, become in the form of God, and everything else is true.
Black August.
Black August salute.
Hi, my name is Tina. Who cares for the teacher? What's your name?
My name is Barbara. Tina is my nickname. And which Tina also means truth is now alive.
Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
Black August salute.
Hi, my name is Kalika. Queen H. Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
I know who you are, but I don't know your name. My name is Peter. What's your name? Mahogany. I know that. That means pretty brown. Right? Something like that. Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
Hi. My name is Peter. What's your name? Jemiah? Nice to meet you. Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
Hi, my name is Peter. What's your name? Jay. Nice to meet you. Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
Hi, my name is Kalika Amiajali Kwabaruti. What's your name? Chase. Nice to meet you. Black
August salute. Black August salute.
Hi, my name is Keela. What's your name? Black August Salute. Black August Salute. Hi, I'm Keela. What's your name?
My name is Olinka Bonanza Green. My name is Olinka means fierce woman warrior who hunts for the elephants.
Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
Hi, I'm Keela. What's your name? Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming today. Black August Salute. Here's George Jackson. What's your name? I'm Keela. Black August Salute. Black August Salute.
Black
August
Salute. Hi, I'm Keela. Black August Salute. What's your name? Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
I'm Kalika. What's your name? Black August Salute. I'm Keela. Maria. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming. Black August Salute.
Black August salute.
Hi, I'm Kalika. What's your name?
Peace. I'm true. This is God of Law. True means ones I feel the word to an original.
whether it be right and exact, on square. Energy, the ability to think, work, and manifest your thoughts into reality. God, meaning the original man, making the owner. The law, my physical composition. On leg, from the head.
Black August salute.
Like all
Black August salute to everybody for being here. I really appreciate y'all. Hold on to that flyer. It'll answer some of the questions. Can I sit over here? Can I sit right here? I started out, well, I am a Pan-Africanist. I joined the United States of Africa Revolutionary Party when I was 17. And the United States of Africa Revolutionary Party was an offspring of the All African People's Revolutionary Party. And in simplest terms, the objective of the party is to create a unified socialist Africa, meaning that Africa, in spite of all it's been through with colonialism and slavery, our objective is to rid Africa of foreign powers and control our land, our resources. And that's forever the objective. Not only is to control our land and resources, but for Africa and her children to be able to reap and eat the fruit of her labor and not anyone else. Anybody who is of African descent should have this as an objective, but it's not one that's so easy to come by. And it's being in the organization to have an idea as such, to have an objective as such, is something that has to be developed. So being in a political party amongst my comrades and different people who share the same ideas, I was able to develop myself in my understanding of, what's necessary to do that. And in understanding what's necessary to do that is not an easy task. Like I said, it's a task that requires a lifetime of commitment. It's something that you bring into existence and you stay for it. It's just like you have a child and you raise your child, right? But the child may leave your house, however, you're still concerned about the well-being of your child. So we may create a United States of Africa. That's our goal, that's our objective. And when we do, we have to be able to defend it. We have to be able to come to its defense. So we have to create armies. We have to create people who can defend what we create, and that's us, right? So again, there are many ways to do that. And George Jackson University is one tool of many that is used to do that. Now, George Jackson University, like you all heard the history of George Jackson, the Attica Rebellion, and things like that. But George Jackson University, our people, again, we have been through many struggles of resistance, right? When we've never been a people who, just been submissive to exploiting type situations. Anytime you have any type of oppression, eventually you're gonna do something. Like if somebody comes up to you and just step and miss out and do over and over again, eventually you're gonna get tired of it. So you're gonna formulate a plan. And again, those plans come from these forms. So within the prison system, in many movements, more so like time when you have like Black Panther parties is really on the scene, right? There are a lot of people, as Eric mentioned, that are incarcerated right now today. A lot of people who are in solitary confinement right now today, who are prisoners of war, who have been captured by their enemies, right? And we just met with Ramona Africa. Ramona Africa, she was a survivor of the Move house that was bombed in Philadelphia, killed like 10 people in the house, and Ramona and another child was the only ones to get out. But there are members of the Move house that are political prisoners that are still in prison. There are a lot of us who have resisted and struggled against the system who are in prison. Just like our great and honorable Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, what did they do? They infiltrated him. Right, and they sent him to prison, right? So their objective is to isolate us from the people, right? Anytime you have resistance, you must detain it. So their objective will forever be to isolate us from the masses. So in the struggle for liberation, you had members of the Black Panther Party that went underground and they did work. You know, a lot of work that's unmentionable, you know, not necessarily mentioned, but a lot of work has been done. And as a result of it, you know, they are in dungeons. They spend 23 hours in cells. If they get to come, they probably don't even get to come out on the yard most of the time, because they are considered a threat to the state, and they don't want them to have any interaction with the prisoners, right? Because what they do is they put thoughts and ideas into those prisoners' minds, and that's what they don't want. So, my objective, just as Garvey said, you know, he said, look for me in the whirlwind, right? That's what he said. And he said, you know, he'll carry the spirit of the dead will come and aid you. You know, they're going to aid you in the future. And so he meant us. And there are those who have sacrificed their lives for our well-being, for our liberation, right? There are those that are in prison who have sacrificed their lives for our liberation. And for me, I owe them, it's a duty, you know, that we have to serve, because they're still there doing the work. So George Jackson University was founded by Abdul Alabala Shakur. He's in the shoe system in Pelican Bay. Abdul Alabala Shakur, I really don't want to speak on the reason why he's there, but the state apprehended him for defending his sisters in the community, and they gave him a life sentence. And they don't expect him, they don't want him to ever see the light of day. Same thing for me. If I was to go, they wouldn't want me to see the light of day. If you were to go, they wouldn't want you to see the light of day. So it's not any type of surprise. But in spite of it all the torture that he has been subjected to, the torment, and being in solitary is a deep, deep psychological torture. You know. Now, I ain't never been to jail. I make a conscious effort to never be arrested, because I would not allow my life to be, you know, subjected to my enemies. So I make a very conscious effort to stay the hell out of jail, right? But I do have an idea of what it's like, because, you know, I have friends and families and loved ones who, when they go through experiences, I can feel just by being in a relationship with them. I'm aware of their realities. So Abdul, in spite of being in the shoe, and just like his other comrades on your Pelican Bay, he still made contributions to the work. He's a writer. He developed George Jackson University with Dr. Donald Evans, who is, I have some videos for y'all, but it's cool though. I can get them to y'all. But Dr. Evans, he's in Dallas, Texas with me. He's 86 years old. And him and Abdul, they started George Jackson University, and it had been around for a while inside of the prison system. I learned about it while I was on a tour in 2012. There was a guy who was running for presidency in Sierra Leone. And so in Sierra Leone, during election time, there's a lot of outrage. There's a lot of dirty politics. And we have neo-colonialist forces in Africa. Do y'all know what neo-colonialism is? Neo-colonialism is like, Africa had gotten her independence in a lot of countries, right? Ghana, Gambia, Senegal, like a lot of African countries are independent. All of them are pretty much independent, but they still have foreign interests. And what they do is they put people in power that look like us, and they still serve the interests of the foreign, the European power. So they sell out, you know, they sacrifice their people, you know, for $1. You know, that's neo-colonialism, right? So I forgot how to talk about neo-colonialism, but yeah, thank you. So, you know, we was doing the tour to expose, you know, let the world know how Sierra Leone does with its elections and the African social movement. We try to get a seat in Parliament. Through where I started to connect with different individuals, and that's how I got connected with Abdul who has the life sentence. And so me and Abdul started to be in contact with each other, and I didn't even know Dr. Evans lived in my city. This 86-year-old man who's been doing his work, you know, and he would be at the same places and spots that I would be in. And so we just kind of connected all together. But I started to study the prison industrial complex, which I was already aware of, but I started to study how they would try to criminalize the work that we do. So with GJU, the work that we do, they try to label us as a gang. We are not a gang. We in no form or fashion. We are African people who love ourselves, who love our people, and who want to be liberated. And so that's the objective of GJU. However, again, we had been under attack. And so there was constant battles. Even now today, there are constant battles to have GJU. Now, what GJU is, it's an apparatus inside of the prison. And the reason that it's there is to politically, culturally, and socially educate the individuals that are there in prison. A lot of times when you come from prison, well, let me say this, a lot of times when you go to prison, you have time on your hands, right? You want to stay out of trouble and different things like that. So a lot of people, they do go in there and they read, you know, they may get religious, you know what I'm saying? They may, you know, a whole lot of different things, and that's how good, you know, they study. You have time to do things that you would sit down for in the first place, right? But GJU, what it does is it serves to enhance that. So when that individual come out, we can reduce what we call recidivism. Because again, we want to create armies, because Africa, we need people who are organized, who are dedicated and committed to serving the interests of one another. Like, my loyalty to you is unbreakable, it's untouchable. This is what we want to create. So in order to create that, we have to create a mentality that will put that in place. There's nothing that will compromise my relationship with you. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to create those type of individuals. So that's what GJU does. And what we want to do is reduce recidivism. Do you know what the term recidivism means? Recidivism is when you go in and out of jail, in and out of jail, in and out of jail. Now, we have to ask ourselves the question, why do people go in and out of jail? You know, we live in a capitalist society. Imperialism rules this age. And you have to have money. You have to have, you know, you got to be able to eat. And that's by any means, you know. And so a lot of times our conditions are very harsh. They have us subjected to a certain type of reality. But the objective of GJU is to build institutions that when these individuals come out of these places, they have us, they have the people that they can come to. They ain't gotta do 30 years in prison and then go and work at Wendy's. You know how many people come through Wendy's with funky mouths? You know, talk all kinds of, talk down to you? Or just imagine you just did 30 years and then your manager knows that they just want to get assholes. And so they can make your day bad. I said, I'm gonna call your PO. I'm gonna call your probation officer. Do you know what it's like to be subjected to that type of reality? A lot of people have to deal with that reality. So we want to put something in place for our people where they don't have to be subjected to those type of realities. Everything. And so I need help with that. I need help in developing the curriculum. We do need books. We do need books. We need people to donate books. Like if you go to the website, we have a booklet of all the books that we read. You may have it in your library. Would you sacrifice one book to GJU or just buy a book and donate it to help build the library? Do you have access to a copy machine where you can, when you get the questions submitted, can you help make copies for our study groups? Things like that. Very simple things. But what it does is it develops camaraderie. It develops camaraderie in a very scientific way. What we will see is people's discipline and dedication. And that's one thing that George Jackson was known for. That's one thing that the prisoners are known for. And that's why we look towards the regimen that they put forth in Black August to utilize their example of discipline. And these things that we require for GJU, as you can read in the brochure, are not a lot to ask for. It's not a lot at all. You know, very simple things. And we just want you to study, you know, and it develops our relationships. We would be like this. Yeah, it creates something that we definitely need. And so, in doing so, we develop our resources. You know, we will develop our resources and different things like that. But in a nutshell, the website is very thorough. We have a couple of videos on there where you can see the support that we have. It's very thorough. You get to know some of the political prisoners. You can look them up online, and we'll be sharing their stories. So many different things that it encompasses. But when I say that I need you, like I come here with an objective to get out of arms inside. We have every fucking thing that we need. We have to secure it. We have to secure it. It's filtered, you know. But in a nutshell, without start getting too emotional about it, I guess that's pretty much it.
What is the time frame you need if out of time for the books? What is the time frame you need to process?
Just whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. If you pick a book to read, like even if it's not on the list on the website, and you just have it on your shelf, and you say, hey, Sister Keitha, you know, is this a good book to DJ? You know, I know this book, I love it, I want to read it again. You know, if you can do it on your time frame. What I'm asking is for like at least, because I try to discipline myself. I always have to study. I always have to study, right? And even if it's a book that I've read over and over again, I always get something new out of it. But like, I try to make myself just commit to at least 10 hours a week of study. So that's why I do that out. But you know, you have a child, you have a family, you know, and different things like that. So what you may be capable of is solely, you know, up to you. But at the interim of it, if you have an objective and you set an objective for yourself, you do what's required, you know, with your conditions to just meet your objective. You know, so just have the objective, and then, you know. So, you know, in organizing, you meet a lot of different people, you know, and you know, a lot of times people read and come into stuff and they're like, yeah, you know, and then you don't see them ever again. You know, that's not how we want to function. I'm very thorough with follow-up, very thorough. I will be in touch with you if you express unity in this work. Whether it's reading 1 hour a week, I'm gonna call you, or just have somebody call you, my assistant, and say, hey, did you study for 1 hour? I have an assistant in Canada, and she's a beast, you know, and Rue's a beast too. So, and he already said that he's gonna make sure. So commit to what you can. You know, if you need time to think about it, if you need to call me, you know, ask me questions. But I say to you sincerely that we need our people on the front lines, and we need our people in many different forms. You know, some of us are underground. You know, some of us, everybody not speakers. You know, everybody not writers. I know some, you know, so many different, we all have different things that we can bring to the table. But as far as GJU is concerned, there's a lot of different things. We need funds, we need resources, you know, we need money, you know, all that stuff. I ain't got no money, you know, but it ain't really a priority. What I need right now is to develop that community, so that's what I'm focused on. And like I said, if you have some paper, you know, if you just have stacks of white paper sitting at the house or whatever, just think about GJU. Just put GJU as an imprint on your brain, you know, and just holler at me and stay in touch.
So just like, so like say, for instance, somebody don't have time to read, you know, that type of stuff, but they want to just say, okay, let me go buy a book of stamps,
Yeah,
something like that, but they need,
we need stamps. We need stamps, envelopes. I used to do sign language interpretation, and I was doing it for this European girl. She had several problems, and they didn't work out too well after a while because her mom started to. I used to just go and interpret for her at school. Then her mom was like, "Oh, you come over my house and all that stuff," and they didn't want to work it out too well because I ain't, you know, it ain't like the same part of me. And so anyway, I had to let that go. But I was using the funds from that job to buy stamps and posters and stuff. And I can tell you, well, when I started working, I was like, dang, it did make a difference because those things are priced, you know, buying stamps and stuff. And so I don't have a job. I'm a full-time revolutionary. Some people probably don't agree with that or whatever the case may be, but I don't have money for stamps right now, so if you can donate stamps, envelopes, you know, and different things like that, that's cool. We will be very, very happy for that. But if you can't, you know,
Do whatever you can do.
yeah, read a book.
What we can do, when it's all said and done, we can get a list of what Comrades can do how they support what
I
they
actually
pass.
have a list. It's on the website. Everything
Oh,
you
okay.
need is on the website.
Yeah,
I was going to do a video presentation, but I didn't have
so we
time.
can hold accountable what people will do. We won't be confused.
Yeah, everything is on the website. But before we leave, we do have a list that we're passing around, and it's my hope that everybody signed it. If you have not signed the list, I would really appreciate it, especially if you're an adult. If you're a child, it's not really necessary. But if you're an adult, if you can please sign the list. If you have unity with GJU and you sign the list, can you write on here or that I have unity or put a check, and I can like get in contact with you and follow up and ask you exactly. You don't have to be, we don't have to do it right now, but trust me, I will be in contact. If you put a check mark saying I have unity, I will know. And just put it on this one, and I can stay in contact with you. You could provide your phone number if you have unity. You can provide your email. Even if you don't have unity with it, you can still need those things because, like I said, it's a lot of different things going on. But I really don't see no reason why nobody would not have unity with it. Any questions? Huh?
We gotta get off the website. We have a sign.
Yeah, you can like just pass by. You can put like a check mark by your name to symbolize that you have unity with it, and that way I can kind of identify. And is it just names or is it contact information?
It's just names.
Yeah, whenever you're a part of when you're organizing and you come to be amongst the people, just names really don't suffice. I probably should have made that clear. Names are no good without the contact information. So if y'all don't mind, like, put your contact information by it if you have any. But I really appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you coming.
Okay, you mentioned movies. Can you give a brief description of, because I want everybody to know the time frame that is happening because when I'm involved with it, and this happened, 85. Yeah, so can you give a brief, because a lot of people just, don't even know this happened.
And before I do that, I'm going to pass out some cards. I'm also a recruiter for an organization called Mothers Against Genocide. Brother Eric Caffrey, they stay on the police ass where I live. And Dallas is known for murdering people. They known for murdering people notoriously. And they hold them accountable. And, when we're murdered by the police, money is not enough. They pay us money and stuff. And money it can never bring back the child. But Mothers Against Youth Genocide, we deal with any aspect of genocide committed against our children. Whatever it is, whether it's illiteracy, whether it's police brutality, whether it's the Ebola crisis in Africa, wherever we find our people, it's just a big umbrella of aid. If you we really focus on women, mothers. If you ever need any type of assistance for anything, Mothers Against Youth Genocide is a resource that is here to serve the people. So we're just service of the people. So you can like pass stuff. And we have a retreat that's going on in New York on August 22nd to the 24th. If anybody want to come along, we still got some room. Men are welcome to come too. But it's like $40. And so we like have this big giant house. And we're just gonna like do some work. We're gonna organize. When Marcus Garvey organized, they slept together, they ate together. It wasn't no, I gotta go to work type shit. It wasn't that. They put the meat to the bone. Long hours. You ain't gotta go way over here. They had headquarters where they stayed, and they were family, and they lived together. So that's important to And so that brings me to the move 9. Well, the move house that was burned. Eric, you want to get that? Or okay. Well, Move was a group of people who was it was founded by John Africa. The Move family, they were an organization, but they were a family. You know, family is an organization. You know, they worked together, they lived together, they ate together, they studied together, they protected one another, they were loyal, all the things that I talked about here today. They were close-knitted. They understood how the system functioned. They were able to identify their enemies. They stayed clear of their enemies. And the way that they lived was not a norm, as you see, you know, right now today. And we live in a land of consumerism and commercialism. And they didn't fit into that type of setting. And so they were like a sore thumb in the community. Just how I was talking about those prisoners that are in isolation. They're in isolation because they're a sore thumb, right? So the Move House, they was a sore thumb in the community, and the police terrorized them constantly. And because of the police terrorism, they wouldn't subject themselves to it and bow down to it. So they were constantly harassed, thrown into jail over and over again, having to go through battles with the police and so forth. The police killed their kids. You know, a couple of kids died by having women being stumped, having miscarriages. You know, just different things like that. And there was one day they decided to bomb the Move House. First they tried to smoke them out, and they threw some. This was 1985, May 13, 1985. They decided to ambush, and try to smoke them off the property. They said that there was complaints that they had all this firewood, that they was unsanitary, that they was disturbance to the neighborhood. But if those things are the case, normally you get an eviction notice or some type of, you know, serving. You have to go to court and battle those things. But if that in the case of Move, the police decided to go and throw tear gas onto the top of the building and smoke them out. But it was unsuccessful, and it turned into a fire because there was some gasoline on the roof, and the Move House burned, and it burned. Now, the Move members, however, they of course within all their rights, and just as any human being should do in defending themselves. If you have a gun, you should use it. You know, they turned their guns on the police as opposed to what they would. And they knew that they would be bloody either way, because the Move, they would take the individual that took that, you know what I'm saying, who was not supposed to just do whatever you want to do. So they knew it was not going to be a pretty sight, regardless if the tear gas would have messed up with the gasoline. You know, they knew it was going to be a deadly situation. It was going to be them or the Move. But the house caught on fire, and so 10 people burned alive in that house. The police, they have recordings and videos of what the police is like. You know, they hear the voice of like, contain the fire in the Move House. Keep the fire here. Just let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. And they let it burn. And women and children were in the house. Ramona Africa was the only one who was yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Right.
Yesterday, she was over in Baltimore, and she was just showing us, like, you know, the story of how they still struggling to free 8 that are still remaining in prison that they sentenced 30 to 100 years in prison. This is before the money. So, like I said, it's individuals who, you know, we we understand that resistance is necessary. Anytime you have something that's in constant, like you know how you have a mosquito, right? If a mosquito bite you, you're not gonna sit there and let it bite you. You're gonna try to get it off, right? And so, as African people, we have always had to be resistant. When we honor and when we come together for Black August, it's in the spirit of resistance. For me, it's not a celebration. It's a time for struggle. Every day is a time to organize, and we utilize it as a tool to organize ourselves. And like the members, the MOVE members that are incarcerated right now today, you know, for me, I can't sleep at night. I can't sleep at night knowing that my people are liberated and knowing that there are individuals that are still in prison, you know, by trying to make certain type of, you know what I'm saying? That's like your mama going to jail because she was trying to defend you from being attacked by a man, or, you know, in the case of Marissa Alexander, right? So they have power. They have power where we're subjected to those type of realities where they can just lock us up and store away and keep. And a lot of times it's because nobody gets to jail, you know. But we want to not be the ones that don't get to jail. Because if it was me, y'all gotta come get me.
And one thing about the MOVE, one thing I found very, very disheartening about the MOVE movement is that as children and the women were running out of the burning building, the police were shooting them and they ran back inside. And you see, and there's a book called The House is Burning. But not only did the MOVE house burn up, you had 8 blocks of just houses just burning. And Mayor Wilson Hood knew it was gasoline on top of that roof. And they dropped bombs on it. Just like they did Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dropped the bombs. See, so like she said, resistance. They saw the children running out the building. And that's actual footage. You can see the little babies running out. And the laws are shooting at them. And so if you're shooting at a child and the building is burning, where did the child go? And Michael, in Birdie, Africa, he was the only child that made it out. You should have heard him talk about, well, how many of your friends died? Such and such, such and such, such and such. He was the only one to survive. But he died last year, strangely, of suicide on a cruise. So we must understand that they coming for them. They coming for them.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like she said, the MOVE organization is very important. Even today, if you got MOVE members and the police come at them, the police will stop. Because you know why? MOVE don't play. The police have to call in extra forces, or they like, just move, but hold up. We need to stop what we're doing. Because they squad business, like she said yesterday, we do not play. We are about our business.
To add on what you're saying, what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, if they had an army, they probably would have done what they had done back then.
But what they don't tell you about Tulsa, Oklahoma is Standpipe Hill. Standpipe Hill was a church. And because we go to Tulsa every May. Standpipe Hill was a church. It was one of the highest points in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You had Black veterans from World War I who decided to defend Tulsa. And they went up to Standpoint Hill. And they shot down on the crackers that was doing that. See, that was the one thing that they was afraid of, is that the black man was going to Europe. He was, you know, we've always defended their community. That's what made them mad. That's when you get deacons of defense who were bodyguards for Dr. King. Nobody talks about them. And then that's when you get Robert Williams talking about niggas with guns. We've always had guns. We've always had our own gun club. But now NRA, National Rifle Association, it should be Niggas Rifle Association. You know? So we must understand that anytime, you know, they tell us in Dallas, we'll give you Maverick tickets if you give us your guns.
To add on what you're saying, I came across information that people is doing life or whatever,
Right.
If they would donate an organ
Right.
or something, they
Right.
get less time or.
That's what happened to the sisters in South Carolina, I think. They had supposed to did a robbery, and the mayor and the governor was like, well, if you give her your kidney, then you can get out.
Right.
You know, organization, transport, organ transplant. What we need to understand is when we're talking about books, there's this book called City of Skin. I think that's called City of Skin. And
City of Skin?
City of Skin, I'm thinking it is. It might be different. But it talks about how when they had black men in prison, acres of skin. It's called acres of skin. It's where they experimented on black men's skin. How do you think when somebody go get burned, they get the skin transplant? They show you in this book where they were taking black men and they were taking their body parts. See, in prison, that's the only place that you still a slave.
Right.
It's called acres of skin. But when we go back to, like you said, Tulsa, you take away the guns. You have no defense of yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they can go in and do those things. That's why they were so upset about these brothers in Tulsa. Because they just showed you, when it's wasn't. But those brothers fought back. Those brothers fought back. You know what I'm saying? And so we must understand that there's always been resistance. There's always been resistance.
They ain't gonna tell us
But
nothing like that,
they don't tell you that. They just tell you, Pharrell, be happy.
Right,
Be
right,
happy.
right.
Be the new black. What is the
You
new
say
black?
happy times.
What is the new black? The new black is a Negro who thinks he's an American.
Europeanized nigga.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But let Pharrell do something that's real out the way, they gonna come and put you to the clean too.
Yeah.
So we must understand that resistance, that we say resistance is futile. No, resistance is real. That movie The Purge, I'm telling y'all,
Hey.
y'all watch that.
Hey, matter of fact, I came across some information last night. It was 112 people killed by 3 white people based on seeing that. That's mind control.
But see, that's the thing, they give you the hook. They tell you to look at the entertainment, be over here with this. But then this is happening. They tell you what they're getting ready to do.
Right, exactly.
They tell you what they're getting ready to put down. Back in the day, when brothers and sisters were talking about mind control and LSD and all this and all that, I mean, that's so far out. Now they got that chip in. They talking to federal prisoners saying, well, we can put this chip in you and we'll let you go free. What is that big black box on your leg? That's a chip.
Right.
We can watch you. We can watch you everywhere. So we have to understand, don't get caught up in the matrix, the blue pill or the red pill. We have to understand that this stuff is real out here. And they warn you, I can tell you, warn them come before destruction. But we think it's so funny, it's so many games. But tell you how when it really got real down in Ferguson. The only reason President Obama called them folks down is when them 2 white boys got stopped up in McDonald's. That's the only reason that he said, hey, y'all get them out of control.
I didn't even know nothing about that. Some more reason they came on there.
Yeah, when the white boys who were reporters for the Washington Post was in McDonald's, and they was observing what was going on in Ferguson, and boy was charging up his phone, and the laws came here like, what you doing? It's 2 white guys, what you doing? Man, I'm just charging my phone. Well, you need to turn that phone, you need to turn that camera off. Okay, let me go and turn it off. When he got ready to turn it off, they woke both of the white boys up. But these white boys fight for the Washington Post. Then all of a sudden, President Obama, well, the state local, the local police department needs to stop receiving in this right here because that's embarrassing. When President Putin over in Russia say, how the hell you gonna tell me? And Benjamin Netanyahu say, how the hell you gonna tell me about bombing Gaza when you got this going on in your street? Get the hell up out of here.
Right. But they have to keep it isolated so we don't know what's going on over there. They don't know what's going on over
But see, it can't be isolated anymore.
I know.
It's not isolated anymore. See, we got to go all the way back to history too. When was that? When Emmett Till was assassinated, when Emmett Till was killed, and America's trying to tell Russia how to deal with their business. Nikita Khrushchev, whatever his name was, he told him, he said, how you gonna tell us about how to handle our citizens when you got folks over there lynching little black boys? She said, that's the only time that America gets scared is when somebody else is watching. Yeah. You know, it's okay to keep doing this. You know, but when somebody else say, we're watching you, see you. You know, that's why they call us ugly tourists when we go to Europe. You know, that's how they, that's why they look at us. That's why we go to Europe, they treat us like dogs because they already see the substandard of what we supposed to be like in America. You know, you're a black person over in Europe, automatically, the first thing they call you is niggas. Well, I thought that's what you liked. I thought that was your name in America.
Right.
You know, so we have to understand that they are watching us. They are watching us. You know, and President Obama got his coattail pulled up. That's why Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, pull up the coat, pull up the dress, let us see what's up under there. Let us see what's up under there. You cannot continue to be a dictatorship on the people, then try to tell somebody else in another country how the hell to handle their country.
That's right.
It's just like me going to your house and trying to tell you how to handle your house and my house is built.
That's right.
The number one thing is they want to take the guns, they want to give you basketball tickets, they want to give you football tickets.
Reality shows.
They want to give you, not reality shows, comedy shows. They want to put a new dance out there, and they want you to take your mind off of what's real. You know, watch the hook. That's my new thing is watch the hook. Watch what they doing. You know, watch how they handle us. You know, and even with your children on your education system. They got it real bad about putting our black boys in the special education.
Or ADHD.
Yeah. How much money, you know, if your child has got ADD, how much is a state check here? How much do they give your child for a state check if your child got a disability?
See, what that is, like the school get money to offer that, they bank off of that, but they don't educate them.
Right.
They give them medication.
Right.
They make a bill for you at the end of the day.
And see, and what we learned, and some of y'all might know this, the amount or the number of prison beds that are made for prisons is based on the reading level of little black boys. If your little boy cannot read on the 3rd grade level, they automatically tell you he's going to prison. Yeah, but look at Harvard. How many? What was that? Not Harvard. What was that? The big black school. I can't think of what it was. Harvard or Howard. Graduated the largest classes of PhDs, guys with doctors. I believe that's bullshit. You can't tell me that my little boy can't read by the 3rd grade. He's going to prison. Your system says that. I don't say that.
The system is implemented.
But see, you as a parent, you can break that. You can break that.
Break that at home. You break that at home.
Right.
You're the first educator of your child.
Right.
So support what information you give your child.
Right.
If you just allow, if you're not teaching them, the system, the beast is going to teach them.
And that's what Sister Kalika was saying, what she was saying, that book, that list of books. Dead friends tell you, our schools ain't for us. Those schools ain't for us. That's why she gives us a list of books for you to read to your children, for you to give them that knowledge, even before they come out the womb.
That's right.
You got to start off even before you decide to sit down and conceive.
That's right.
It's about you, because your children are you.
Yeah, Professor Grill was talking to me. He always says, he said, even before you lay down with a woman.
Out and we can continue debate and
It's not debate.
drinks. It's just a jostle. It's just keep going back and forth. And these guys are like, you know, they got the camera going back.
Oh, okay.
We got it all. We got it all. We got it all.
But in closing remarks, though, what Brother Irk was saying, he said it's not a game, and me being an athlete playing sports, it's never a game. But it's your ability in life on how you're going to play this game. What is your ability to ball, however you want to interpret it. So, and also, it reminds me of the song where he said, does anybody really know what time it is? You think about that. But I appreciate y'all company, y'all coming out. I can see the next time we do this is only going to grow. Kids, I hope y'all learn something. I know we had that in your waiting for a while, but I hope y'all enjoy all the information that these sisters brought all the way from Texas. You know, they didn't have to do that, but they did. You know, this is my first time meeting this sister. She's a powerful sister, and I can tell she really has love for her people. So I hope they do come back and, you know, give us some more information while they out there on their travels, going everywhere and building with brothers and sisters just like us.
Peace, my name is Olinka Green. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas, New Black Panther Party. Down here in the VA, kicking with the family, with the Chi clan, you know. Real solid people giving some real knowledge. It's beautiful to see this black people coming together and working and building and putting their knowledge together and just making some real positive stuff. So I give up a real big props to the Chi clan, to the VA. I fucks with you niggas. Y'all is good folks. Y'all ever come up to Dallas, y'all can holler at the OG clan. That be me. But one love to y'all. Thank y'all for the hospitality. Thank y'all for all the love that y'all giving. And man, just stay up and just do what y'all need to do. Long live Revolution. Long live the Chief family.
Long live the gorillas, Chairman Eric Carfront, Gorilla Mainframe, George Jackson University. We're here building with the comrades in Virginia. You know, some great minds, some great inspiring, you know, brothers and sisters and children. You know, out here building on the George Jackson University, which is in reality, we're just trying to spread the word and connect with other comrades all across. Of course, Gorilla Mainframe, we say we believe in liberated territories and liberated zones all over. So it don't stop in Virginia. So we're going on from Baltimore to Virginia and keeping it pushing, organizing, you know, in unity of self-discipline, sacrifice, organization, which is the foundation of black artists. So we keeping it rolling, we keeping it pushing. Organization, that's what we must have. Forward Africans, free the land, heroes, all power to the people.
If you start with it's the same system. And being implemented by the same people. Teaches you that this is where they wanted to mount their attack on us, was here in the wilderness of North America. You know, because if you're wondering, like, we know we was already here. It was already original peoples here in America because we all over the planet Earth. But coming here in the form of slavery, it was to implement that attack upon us, which where we're the only black people really on the nation. I mean, Africa was neo-colonial, it was colonialism there, but they stripped us of everything here. Everything. Your name, your language, your culture, everything about you. That's the making of a slave.